Who's your customer, Denise, in 2016? Who are you trying to serve and how are they changing?
Our customers are really different today. Mom, dad, and 2 kids and a Labrador Retriever are 24% of families. The family has definitely changed, and I would say that we focus on 2 cohorts, baby boomers and millennials, both about 80 million strong. But more important, when you look under the hood, it's multi-generational, single parent, same-sex, traditional. There are all different kinds of families, and so that has fundamentally transformed the way people eat.
So what does that mean for you? Do millennials like soup? Do they like, let me finish with Denise, let me just follow up with you, but do they like soup? Do they like, I know you've done some acquisitions. Do they not like your core thing? Are you going in other directions?
Well, we think one of the most fundamental shifts that has happened, and we call it a seismic shift, is the change in consumers' preference for healthier food. And we see this manifested in both fresh food and natural and organic, and also a desire for cleaner labels. And so we're really focused on all 3 of those. That has, prompted 4 acquisitions that we've made in the past 5 years, with Bolthouse Farms and Garden Fresh Gourmet giving us $1 billion in fresh food, and also Kelsen giving us a platform in snacking.
You know, Matt, I think that less than the change in the average consumer, I think what we see is a change in the environment. So, over the last 20 or 30 years, today's consumer has been bombarded with information. By you, the media, by us, we get blame you for everything these days, right? And I mean in a positive sense, by books, by what they're experiencing throughout their lives, and they've been over-informed, hyped, and today's consumer is really in conflict. They're in conflict between what they think they should eat. They're in conflict between what they want. And those organizations that can resolve that conflict for them, that can help them give them food that is both what they want and helps them answer their own relationship with their bodies, I think are the organizations of the future, and that's what the consumer is evolving to.
Let's drill down on some of those components a little bit. So we hear about health, we hear about organics, we know that's a real thing, but in a sense, how real is it? I mean, Panera, for instance, you're praised for salads. I know you've pushed a lot of healthy foods. You still have a great baked goods counter that people like. And obviously, Campbell's has moved into Bolthouse Farms and new areas, but there's still SpaghettiOs, which I love, for instance. So how contradictory is the consumer?
Let me start and say that I think we all know there is no such thing as an average. A guy who's got his head in the freezer and his feet in the oven is on average comfortable, right? Okay? The reality is there are niches. The largest single niche in the marketplace today is that consumer that wants food that is both good for them and is simply good. And so what we would try to say is each of our organizations, Denise's and mine, and each of our brands, I'm sure we have to figure out who we are, what we stand for, and what consumer we're in alignment with. So Panera isn't the place for the average or for everybody. It is for a consumer that is particularly interested in resolving that conflict, food that's both good and good for you.
And health and wellness does mean different things to different people. We tend to treat eating and diets as one size fits all, but the human body is very personalized, and so a food regime for me could look different than the one for Ron. And I think that with technology that's coming, there's a whole world opening up to have a deeper understanding of the impact of nutrition for better living, better quality living.